Hey folks, Toaster here. I am in my garage today and I just wanted to talk a little bit about power creep. And I played a little bit yesterday and my tier 8s basically, and the power creep on my tier 8s. I just want to go through each of my tier 8 premiums because those are what make the most money, get you the most credits, and so those are what you like to be playing. The Super Pershing, it's not bad, but it's fairly situational. They did buff it, and the turret ring is weak, and then of course both commanders hatches. And if you have high pen, you can go for lower plate, like 240, 250, I think is what it takes. And of course, you got this port here. So you want to be at medium range with this. It does have decent gold rounds at 243, I think is the pen on them. And yeah, it doesn't really say, does it? Oh, that's the HE. Sorry. Yeah. So I think it's 250, yeah, 243 or something is the pen on the gold rounds. And so this is still a somewhat viable tank. Of course, the sides are weak. My Patriot, I've found not to be very viable these days with, a low can kind of pen you right through the turret with gold rounds. You end up playing against tanks that are just better. Like 240 Alpha is really tough to use these days. I'm not saying it's a terrible tank. It's not. It's still above average, but it's not what it used to be. And look at the cupola on that compared to some of the other tanks that you see out there. You definitely have a cupola and some weak spots around the gun. This tank I have tried to make work. I love light tanks, or I used to. And so, but the problem is the only thing that you face is ELCs, and they're all running binos and a camo net, and you will never outspot them, right? The concealment on it is 28.7, and I don't have brothers in arms. That would help a little bit, but you're not going to get much above 30%. Whereas a lot of tanks are approaching 45 to 50%, especially with these new equipment slots. They've got this new setup that they've got is allowing people to actually add some firepower or mobility so they can get faster. I guess they don't have really a camo slot, but still, this tank you just cannot make work, or at least I can't. I can play it like a medium, and it plays okay that way. It's got really good DPM, but it is completely outdated and outmoded by newer tanks in the game. FCM, it's never been really good, but it's really bad now. Bad camo, low alpha, no gun handling's not great. It's okay with my setup. It's just not a good tank. The IS-6, I don't think I need to tell you guys, but I will anyway, that the IS-6, the low pen on it, even though they increased it, and the low pen on the gold rounds, which is why I carry a lot of HE rounds. It's just outmoded. You just almost everything can pen this thing that you're going to face. And if you're in a tier 9 game, you almost have to play it like a medium tank, but it's too slow and the gun handling's too bad to make it work. The Revelry's slow. I can make it work. It's a sniper. It's basically a TD until mid-game. So I can make that work. The concealment on it is not terrible. 23% is pretty good for a medium tank. So I can make that work. The STA-2, really low alpha. Let's say you face a Barask, right? You're fighting up front because you're fast. They give you 720. You get to give them back 240. It just is not... It's not viable in today's meta. Now, can you make it work? A lot of these tanks you can make work sometimes, but with the speed of games and the fact that you've got to get up front and get damage in with no armor and these tanks, these autoloaders that are in the game, it's just not a good choice. T-34-3, I still like it. It's situational, but I can make it work because I played it so much. So I do like it. And of course, my newest premium, the Progetto, is insanely good. If I want to play premiums and make money, this is my go-to tank. So out of all of the tanks that I've got, pretty much the M4 Revelries, the T-34-3 are okay, and then of course the Progetto is the best tank in the game. So I just say that because I played a bunch of games yesterday, and I want to show you guys the results that I had, and we'll talk about them a little bit before I show you a replay. I've got a real quick replay, so I wanted to kind of fill a little bit of time and give my opinion on the state of the game. I feel like the arms race is on, and I just don't have the tanks to compete anymore, unfortunately. Okay, guys. Here we are at the and I've really only played like 70 games in this weekend, basically, which is a lot, I know, and 3 games before that. And so this past 24 hours I wouldn't count on. This is the overall weekend. We had a 53% win rate. Now, one thing I'll say is I started at a 43% win rate, and a lot of that was my fault. I haven't played in a long time. The meta has changed a little bit, and there were a lot of YOLOs, and I had to kind of back off a little bit, which is shown by my survivability. I'm only surviving 20% of my games, right? And this is not to show off my stats. This is really just to show you guys kind of where I think the meta is going. So I'm going to go from the bottom. My E3, I played 1 game in it. It was on stream. It was just for to show a friend, and I got out positioned and did nothing. STA2, again, you know, I played 4 battles. It's just so hard to get damage in this thing. And then my 4190, I played very poorly at first because I was trying to play it as a light tank. I did kind of bring it up, but still 40% win rate in 15 battles, 1,000 win rate. And it just kind of goes to show you this thing is outdated. I get outspotted by everything, right? I wish this showed the spotting damage, because then I jumped in the WZ-132, which has pretty good camo, and I ended up winning that game. Sure, I only got 728 damage, but I got a lot of assist in that game. Progetto, I played okay. Not as good as I'd like. I was playing way too aggressive, and that is my own fault. T-34-3, same thing. Normally I'm purple with this, but again, that's my fault, so I can't blame that. I got lucky in the FCM. I only played 1 battle in it. The Rev, I played 17 battles, and I was playing in the back, and that really worked out, and moving up at the point I needed to, and having the knowledge to do that. Object 277, 1 game. I didn't win it, but fired all gold pretty much, and so I mean 4,000 damage, whatever. And then the Type 64, of course, I did. So I jumped down to tier 6 because my tier 8 lights were not doing really well. My premium lights. So I jumped down to tier 6 so I could make money. And of course, at tier 6, I'm a decent player. So, Batchat 12T, 3 battles. That is a tier 8. And I just played it on stream to show how bad the 4190 is these days at being a scout. And of course, you look at that, and then the Cromwell B. We're going to have a game in the Cromwell B and also a game in the Type 64. I don't know which one I'm going to put up here, so I'm going to go look at them, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, here we are on Kharkov. I decided to play my Cromwell replay here, just because it's quicker and I've talked quite a bit already and I don't want to wear you guys out. So here we are in Kharkov and we're in a Tier 6, Tier 5 game, and we're going to go to the middle with our binos, and that's going to prove to be an excellent choice. I kind of, with 3 artilleries, I kind of hate to go up into this corner because I get focused, even though I use anonymizer. People generally see me, see someone that's anonymized and attack them, especially if they have the mark mod, which I have 2 marks on this, so oftentimes that's what occurs. Now, this Skoda comes up here, does not light me, and I go ahead and sit here and wait to see what he's going to do. And it looks like they're going to pass me, right? That Skoda has no idea that I'm here. And I decide it's time to push out. I wonder if the sound's not working on this. Oh, it is, but it's just kind of low. So we're going to come help our 40 TP, and this poor Chaffee, I mean, my goodness, he's doing his best. As you notice, my artillery is not doing me any favors, right? One of the reasons I dislike artillery. So I notice this guy coming up behind me, and he's going for a ram, and I make him miss. He does get a shot on me, but I've got 600 damage that quick. Now, I don't know what that 40 TP was thinking, and we're backing off just because there's 3 arties, right? And we're going to go around because I'll allow that T1 heavy to take all the damage. That's fine. I don't want to get artied, so I'm trying to make myself a hard target. So I know there's a T78 up there, but he was not firing at me when I was down in this ditch. And so I have a feeling he's backed off a little bit. And so we're going to come over here and get some shots, right? Because I know that I haven't seen anybody in the city here. So we're going to work this Firefly. And all he has is turret. And once in a while you get a bounce in this Cromwell. So we take him out, and I know there's a T78 here. And he makes a critical error. He ignores a Cromwell. And just look at this DPM as we're moving forward and lighting stuff and getting shots. And you'll notice I move off to the side so that this T78 does not hit me. Alright, so we've picked up 1,700 damage, and we've, more importantly, lit all the arty. Now this arty in the left, I do not feel a bit bad for him. I looked at his stats. He's got 35,000 games in the left. So, my goodness. Not to name and shame, but that is like complete cancer to me. Of course, I hate artillery. And the M41 is attempting to get away. And we're going to kind of let him, because I do not know what's around this corner. I know that the M44 isn't spotted and the Rudy is not spotted. So I'm wondering if that Rudy is there. But the A20 continues on and pushes through. So I'm willing to go. Keep in mind I only have 400 health left. And the route is on. We got 5 kills. And we're just awaiting the next person. And we overexpose a little bit there and unfortunately miss our shot. So we're going to take a shot, a chance shot. I know that I can take a hit. And now I'm almost a 1 shot for this Rudy. So I don't really want to push out there. I'd rather someone else push out there. And we're just going to wait till we're unlit. And now there's a bush between him and I, which I did not realize. And it's just farm time. And there we go. There's the Top Gun. In about 2 minutes of gameplay, or 5 minutes of gameplay, pardon me. We picked up, looks like 2,700 damage and a top gun. Let's look at the after action. So when you look at this game, of course, we did get an ace, we got a Pascucci's, we got a high caliber, and a top gun medal. And 68,000 credits. This game is indicative of why sometimes it's better to step down a tier or two. Sure, I can have 200,000 games, 200,000 income games on a tier 8, but it doesn't happen very often. In 5 minutes, I made 68,000 credits, and you multiply that times 12. That's 700,000 credits an hour, which is respectable, and it's fun. So sometimes it's worth just playing a lower tier, and that's kind of what I did towards the end of the night last night. I was just getting tired of getting killed over and over again by YOLOs. So in this case, I got to be the YOLO. 2,700 damage, we already talked about, 6 kills, 32 shots, 22 hits, 22 pens. We blocked 380, which is actually pretty good, and 416 due to player assist, which brought us up to 3,100 combined. We ended up earning 62,000 credits, and then I had 5,000 experience, because I do have a premium account because of this week. I guess they're giving away premium days or something. I don't know. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'm just going to try and start making videos on more relevant tanks instead of just grinding credits, because quite honestly, I hate feeling at a disadvantage. You get a Barask, and all he's got to do is decide that he doesn't want you to play the game, and he cripples you, and then you're stuck. So nothing against Barask players, nothing against any autoloaders. Play whatever tank you like. It's just difficult to play against in non-meta tanks. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Toaster out.